You are now tuned in to the excellence of execution, welcoming Paul, DF, and your co-host, Marley.
We are in. Are you hosting today or are you a guest?
I know, this is weird for me, right?
Clyde from Uptown Financial,
Okay.
who also has his own podcast, which I was very fortunate to be on last week.
I
And it was very weird.
didn't catch the invite. No problem.
You didn't catch the invite, but you watched the episode.
I wanted to catch a Yeti, maybe a hat. Not a big
Yes.
deal. I'm not upset about it. or
Class
anything.
act. Gave me a
Yeah.
Yeti,
Yeah,
which
nothing.
I drink from.
You're not getting anything today, so don't
You
get
know,
yourself.
you would think someone would say like, "Wait, you're from Clear Trust and you're drinking out of an Uptown Yeti." I love it.
You know what? It's
Nothing wrong
first
with
of all,
that.
it's people helping people.
It's right.
It's
Exactly.
people helping people. And number two, this is a Clear Trust Uptown collab.
It is.
Get in line.
I don't know how to collab on Instagram, but I will try to learn where you can like collab.
You're an Instagram master.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're always doing the true.
What does that mean?
Like, I don't know. When I see you on your phone sometimes, it's like woo, like with the hearts or the fires, the fire.
Oh, emoji.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's me. I don't know if that's
Well,
me.
it's
Man.
not me. I'll tell you that.
Well, no, you don't check your Instagram enough, but you.
I don't
you
even
got-
have it. I just have the account just so.
I tag you on it, just for fun.
Yeah, but you know I'm not gonna see it.
No. Well, you look good today.
Thank you.
And so does our guest. Look at that blazer.
Beautiful.
Green
From
blazer.
Persuco?
I almost wore green today. Thank God I did it.
You know?
You guys are both
No.
wearing long sleeves.
Yes, okay. And
I
what
look
else?
like I look like I shopped in Paul's closet for sure. I don't really wear t-shirts and blazers, but I think
Oh,
I think it's all right.
Looks really
it's
good.
a
Is
lot.
that t-shirt from Uniqlo?
Yes, definitely.
There you go. That's where he shops
Definitely.
now.
I've never been a medium in my entire life.
No.
Like never. If I used to wear a medium, it was a crop top. So that's an accomplishment.
This,
for me.
hey, you look good.
I appreciate
You look good.
that. I
I
appreciate
appreciate
that.
there's a lot of
I appreciate
blazers.
that.
There's a lot of blazer love.
Loud
So
The blazer
yeah,
and laser
laser what?
and blazer.
I don't know the laser because you had laser surgery for your eyes.
You always make dodgeball.
Oh yes, dip, dodge, and duck. So the three of us were also together in Inspire conference,
Yes,
right?
that's where you and I met.
That's
yeah.
where we met.
For
Yes.
the DLCG.
The DLCG.
And Dan thought Clyde was Italian.
I did think he was Italian. Yeah.
You're like, why is that guy act so Italian? And
I didn't say
Talk
I
with his
didn't,
hands.
I didn't say that.
No?
No, I said,
Tell me
is
what
he
you said.
Italian?
Right. And he's married.
Straight
He's
up.
half. He's half Italian.
I guess. You grew up in Woodbridge.
Did you grow up in Woodbridge?
Look at the way he talks. Look at his hand. He's worse
I
than me.
can't not use my hands. It's part of me now,
It's a
right?
way of life.
And that's why we
Yeah,
took
it's
the
it.
mics off the stand so
Yeah.
that you couldn't use your hands so much this
Yeah,
episode.
so I apologize because there's going to be a lot of mic waving.
Well, we like mic waving.
Does he sound good, producer?
I'm a big mic waver too.
Are you? Well, you had osso buco for lunch.
I did not have osobuco
Oh,
for
you
lunch.
had
Rabbit.
You had rabbit, which is coniglio
Well, you should be asking
Coniglio asciutto.
your paisan.
Yes,
Yeah, sounds about right. No?
with the risotto.
Yeah, that's right.
So Clyde joined the DLC family. You said a year ago, or just over a year?
Yeah, just about a year and a bit, I think. I don't remember when I signed the contract, but let's call it a year ago. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride. It's been an interesting ride since coming over, and as I mentioned to you, coming over to DLC was it was an interesting. I was gonna say it's a hard choice, and it's been an interesting ride. Right, but seeing what guys like yourselves are doing here at DLC, and some of the others that I was lucky enough to know and to talk to help make the decision, it really inspired me to want to do more. Right, no offense to the former brand, but it's like you have McDonald's and Burger King in the burger space, right? Maybe I was the king of Burger King. I'm not the king, but doing well over there, but. Right. Big fish, small pond. Coming over to DLC, you're a small fish in a very big pond, right? It's a little bit different now.
That's a good point. So walk us through, obviously that was a very tough decision that you made, but let's back up to you're a CIBC guy.
Yeah, former banker.
Right? We had Jay Calafiore in earlier.
Oh.
That was also at CIBC. He was
Yeah.
on the B side and he was talking, and obviously he's with Mortgage Architects, but he mentioned, he mentioned that you guys both worked there. So you're at CIBC, and I know we talked about this on your pod, so there might be some overlap, but we used to see each other down on Bay Street. Yeah. You were there. I was at TD.
Bay Street Boys.
The Bay Street Boys. And Bay Street Kicks Back. We used to play each other in that tournament too, which was fun. But then you decide to go and do your own thing, which is not only mortgages.
Not only mortgages, yeah. And I'm going to say it's decide/decision was made for you kind of a little bit, right? So yeah, I started at CIBC banking, did that for, 13 years, various roles in CIBC, a little bit of a flashback. Started as a teller, right? And got that experience, worked their way up, right? Personal banker, mortgage consultant, did a lot in the mortgage retention space, and from there, I kind of said, okay, I want to learn more. I mentioned to you before, I get bored easily, Paul, and I like to challenge myself. So after that, kind of said, okay, like there's got to be more to mortgages and lending than just trying to retain clients. And started doing some research, right? And lo and behold, stumbled across, lending and, mortgage-backed securities and how does the bank really work and all these kind of fun things. So I said, okay, that's the direction I want to go in. So I transferred over to the business side of mortgages and lending, and I was a business consultant for a number of years. But it's really there that I learned how to really run the business that is Uptown today, right? With the roles or the projects that I was lucky to be a part of, I'm going to say I guess I learned a couple of the secrets, and translated that into more project management roles, learning how to run small teams, and it's I guess those or the experience that I gained there that I also utilize today. But working in projects meant at the end of a project, okay, well, you usually get your next project. But, unfortunately, I guess I walked into work one day thinking I'm getting a new project when instead I got a package handed to me. And, not being ready for that moment would have been probably a difficult point in my life. Right. But, not to go back or talk about things that are, not great in life.
It's part of your journey, though.
Yeah, it's part of the journey, right? But, one of the things that I learned earlier on in my life, and I know you know this, when I was younger, I had a motorcycle accident, and I was working at the bank. Mm-hmm. And I was off work for probably 2 years. But what I learned at that point in time was, you got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. Right. Because if you're not working, obviously, less income, right? And, it was tough times, wife not working, 3 kids under the age of 3.
You have 3 kids?
3 boys.
3 boys.
Wow.
3 boys. Yeah.
Something you guys have in common.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Yeah, but that's the motivation, right? It's why you work.
In common but opposite.
Yeah.
3 kids.
3 kids. 3 boys,
yeah.
3 girls. So that first hiccup in life for me was really kind of the first point in time that I said, okay, Clyde, if you don't plan for things to happen in life, you're going to struggle, right? And I struggled through that time. I had to put my house up on the market. I was like, well, how am I going to pay my bills? I'm making 40% less, and all these things. And no offense to the bank, but the bank doesn't take care of you. You're on short-term disability. You're on long-term disability. Figure it out. They don't say, hey, do you need money to pay your bills, right? So struggled through that for a number of years, and finally was able to get back to working and getting myself back on my feet. Only for fast forward years later, hey, we're done with you, right? Yeah. So one of the things that I did, lucky enough, during that time was I got my mortgage agent license, and I wasn't using it, but I said, it's an opportunity for me to learn while I was down. And lucky that I did, because when they gave me the package,
You were ready.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right?
Without even knowing it.
Yeah.
It's that's the first time I've heard that story and that part.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel kind of privileged that that's the first time he's hearing that. I thought this was a repeat for you.
They always talk about everyone that rises to success, and I know we talked a little bit about they don't remember the battles struggles. Or the struggles and you got kicked pretty hard, man.
Yeah,
the accident more so than the package.
Well, yeah, of course. The accident was kind of like the first real eye opener, to be honest, right? Yeah. And it was like life kind of saying to me, "Hey, like, wake up, Life can change at any point in time." Yeah. And, when I was, to be frank, 2 years learning to walk again, doing all these things.
Yeah, that's
right?
really tough.
It was, a chance for me to sit down and actually reflect on what do I want out of life, right? And, one of the things that I said to myself was, no offense to anybody in the bankers, and we talked about some bankers should be bankers forever.
That's right.
But I realized then and there, I can't count on the bank or another person, another business to take care of me. Yeah. For me, it's about taking care of me, taking care of my family. Yeah. And that's what inspired me and to do the things that I do today, which is take care of my family, take care of my circle, the people that entrusted me. That's what this is about, right?
That's
people helping
story.
people, right?
That's a great story. And did you go directly after that you went into real estate first, or did you do
No,
Uptown? No?
I was So what I did was obviously got the mortgage agent license, and after I got my package from CIBC, which was a good package. I'm not saying
Absolutely,
thanks
yeah.
guys, bite. But I opened up my first brokerage at the time with a business partner.
Okay.
So that was our the Main Street Mortgage brand that we had then.
Right.
We did that for a number of years, but what I was always doing in the background was lending my own money. Again,
Right.
and we talked about this as well, right?
Yeah.
But I've always lent my own money. Whether it was, my first $15,000 that my mom gave me, and I was like, okay, what do you do with this? It's 15 grand. I want it to grow, right?
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to be in mortgages, and I learned a little bit, so I started lending my $15,000 privately,
Right.
right? So I took my 15 grand and I lent it to my first person, and and those days it was like 18%, 90%,
Right.
like we're making good money,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
This is 2007, so did that once, and came back, and it wasn't 15 grand, it was 20 something. Did that again and again. So I kind of grew into this point where I was like, I really enjoy this, right? So that's what was like, I want to learn more. I want to find out how to do it, right? I wanted to find out how to do it properly because I'm risking my own money, right?
Yeah.
And so when the time came to actually figure out what comes next, I said, okay, if I'm gonna lend money, let's lend it officially, and that's kind of how Uptown came to be.
So is Uptown a brokerage or a lender?
Both.
Well,
Oh, yeah. Plot twist.
yeah.
You guys are playing games on me right now.
Yeah.
It's 2-on-1 over here. Max, the producer's with me there.
Yeah. Max doesn't know what's going on.
No.
Tell him what's.
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything at
Okay.
Uptown. I mean, so to answer your question, we have the mortgage brokerage that we are lucky enough to partner with DLC on. We have the real estate division that we kind of do real estate as a byproduct of everything else that we do.
Okay.
We have our finance or lending division where we lend our private capital.
Okay.
And of course we have our investment side of the business. And all of it together, we kind of just run under the Uptown brand as the brand name for the group of companies.
Uptown, Woodbridge.
Yeah.
I got it.
I don't know how did you come up with that? That was one of my
Woodbridge.
questions.
Because he's from Uptown. Not downtown,
Yeah, but,
Uptown.
but is it from Uptown Funk, from Bruno
Oh,
Mars?
it's from
what-
Uptown where he grew up.
It was kind of a little bit of ready.
You like that, eh? Yeah, I deciphered the code.
Yes,
You're
you-
impressed right now.
You got the shoulders going. see?
Code deciphered.
Okay, well, let's see if he's going to answer. I don't know if he was trying to make you feel bad or if it's really true.
No.
I have thick skin.
No.
Both literally and figuratively. You may, you may say the truth.
No, for me, it was, if I'm being honest, I was sitting in my hot tub.
Yeah.
And this again, not laid off of CIBC, not much to do, figuring out what to do, life, opening up a new brokerage, all these things. I'm literally sitting around saying, okay, what am I going to call this thing?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay,
Where are you sitting though?
I'm sitting with my hot tub.
But hot tub where?
my
Uptown.
backyard.
Uptown.
Woodbridge, right? I mean, I'm not downtown. I'm not downtown
Midtown.
anymore. We're not midtown.
It's not downtown.
No, right? So it's kind of like, no. It came and I was like, I said to myself, I'm always big on like, I don't know, trying to motivate myself. I'm like, you gotta wake up. You gotta figure it out, right? I'm like, wake up. I'm like, wake up.
Are the kids sleeping right now? Or are you just sitting there by yourself?
It's like 11
Is-
p.m.
You know,
12
you
o'clock.
know how it gets at 12 o'clock in the hot tub.
Your
No,
best
I know.
idea.
I
You get
know.
loopy,
your
right?
best ideas are
Yeah,
stemming
in the
from
hot
there.
tub.
Yeah,
Well, for
when
me,
you're
it's
relaxed,
the sauna.
Got it.
I'm not a big hot tub guy.
Yeah.
But
you find your space,
oh
right?
yeah, it's mandatory.
Yeah, it's like you find your space where you can create. For
Right.
me, it's my hot tub. I don't know. Anybody that
No,
knows
it's
me
great.
knows.
It's good to know.
You find me in my hot tub, I'm thinking, don't bother me, right?
I love it.
And anyhow, so the long story short is, I just said to myself, just wake up and you gotta own this. You gotta do this. So I'm like, wake up, and own. So I put it all together. Up, the T, up and own. Right. So
I thought it was Wake Up Woodbridge.
yeah, wake up Woodbridge. I should have done that one, but I don't
Carla
think it would've-
Koliakovo took that.
That could be your podcast name. Wake up Woodbridge.
That's a show on Fan 5 1050 TSN. Now,
Oh, is it?
With Carla Koliakovo.
no, we're gonna end up some
Sorry,
trademark.
forget it. Okay, but yeah, Uptown. That's cool. That's
Yeah,
that's
so
a really
it's just
good
a
story.
little bit
I
of
love it.
I like
a little
that
bit
name.
of something
I like
that I ended up putting together, and hey, it stuck, right?
It clicked.
And that was
No,
it.
it's a great name.
Yeah, it works.
It's really, really cool. So you have 4 different umbrellas under that
One-stop shop.
one-stop shop.
Yeah, I mean,
You have your real estate license as well, right?
I'm a licensed realtor, mortgage broker. As I said, we have the administration license where we administer and manage mortgages. It's also through there that we have a GIC offering,
That's pretty cool.
We do that as well. Yeah, well, people look at it and they say, Clyde, it's a one-stop shop, or you have a lot of businesses. I don't look at it.
They're complementary. They're very, very complementary.
Yeah, but for us, we're offering another product to the client that we're already servicing.
Yeah.
Right. And I look at it and I say, and I know I talked to you about how to empower salespeople and how do you find ways in order to empower them to do more.
Okay.
And for me, I look at it and I say, like, a guy like yourself, great sales guy, right? You
I
do
don't know
good
about that.
numbers.
I don't
Come
know
on,
about
you're
that.
modest, right?
Okay.
Come on.
Top 10
Come on.
DOC in Canada.
Like, you're a monster. I said, like, come in. You're a dragon, right?
Dragon.
Right?
A weapon.
I don't
Monster, a
know
dragon.
if I've earned the title of weapon just quite
Dragon. You breathe fire. Sure. Let's go
Hey,
down that.
listen, I came in, that's what I told him. I said, you know what? Respect. You do well, right? And so I look and I say, you have a guy like this that does well, and you sell mortgages, right? That's your product. That's what you're selling. Now, you make a good living, whatever it is. We're not going to talk numbers, but let's just say, I don't know, 200, 300. I'm sure you're killing that, but whatever. So if I can show you how to do 200 selling one product, imagine I can show you how to do that same 200 selling 3 or 4.
Will that dilute my expertise in my original business is my first question. Number 2 is me selling complementary products to what I do going to upset some of the referral sources that I work with that also only focus on selling that one particular thing and being the expert in that particular thing.
Yeah, and these are all part of the business decision.
Right.
So, when I looked at venturing into this for the first time, I said, okay, I started in mortgages. I was a mortgage guy, and I was selling mortgages for, I don't know, at that point in time, however many years. And it was in 2016 that I said to myself, okay, my clients, my investors, they call me and they say, hey, Clyde, I want to buy a piece of real estate, whatever it is. I'm thinking about expanding my book. And, like a good mortgage broker, you're the first point of contact, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So they would call me and I'd run the numbers. We'd look at it and I'd say, okay, great. You qualify for X. You can buy this, whatever it is, semi, triplex, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So then I would pick up the phone like a good mortgage broker and I'd have a list of realtors that I would refer to.
Yep.
And I would say, hey, Dave or Steve or whoever, here's a client. Go out, find them a house. Here's and then bring them back to me. Right. And they would. And I did that for year over year. And, this is the business guy now saying, at the end of every year, I would go back and I'd look at how much do I refer? Okay. And how much is coming back? And what are the opportunities in order to improve your business?
Okay.
And I looked and I said, okay, if I'm referring, $250,000, $300,000 worth of real estate, even if I were to hold half of that, is that not of value to the business? Of course it is. Because this is business that's being created by the network that is Uptown, not coming in from exterior sources. And so I said, if I maintain it, great. And on top of that, could we build it, right? That's the question. So now you're thinking about scaling and everything else. And so obviously made the decision to take on the real estate piece. And yeah, I did lose a lot of referring realtors that looked at me and said, okay, well, now you're competition.
Right.
But on the flip side, the 4, 5, 6 that still work with me and have worked with me since 2016 only benefit because of the products and services that we actually have to offer. On top of, everything else that we could bring to the table, education, cross-sell, and whatever that might be. Yeah. So, it is a little bit of pros and cons, but I look at it and say, if you have, and this kind of comes from banking, right? You have a client that, you're already dealing with.
You want to franchise that client.
Yeah, you want to find a way to wrap your arms around that client, sure, right? Because if you're the person that they're calling when they're thinking mortgages, real estate, investments, insurance, whatever it might be, you have an opportunity to have a discussion. And as a salesperson, if I give you more opportunities to discuss with a client in order to have a prospective sale, then that's all you really want, right?
Listen, if you're an expert in multiple fields, then I can respect that. Like, you know, when you speak to, for example, a bank staff, right, like an FSR, like a financial service representative, or a personal banker, or a financial advisor, yeah, I think the old school way of banking was get that client into the office and ensure that you franchise them. So if they need lending needs, you can offer that. If they need investment needs, you can offer that. If they need a bank account, you can do all these things. But really, you're not an expert in one subject matter. And what I've been seeing with the banks is that they're moving towards that specialized sort of role where each person deals in their own domain so that they can ensure the highest level of service and knowledge.
Correct.
So I you know, we're in business to make money, and I respect that. But a guy like me, for example, you know, who runs a healthy book of mortgage business, I just cannot, even if I wanted to, even if I really wanted to also sell real estate, I just wouldn't be able to. I just don't have the bandwidth, capacity, or the brain power to be the subject matter expert in it. So I think that maybe somebody who, you know, doesn't write such a massive book of business and mortgages and then wants to kind of branch off to do something else, I think you guys really have it figured out.
Yeah, I mean, for us, the model is I was saying to Paul earlier, it's different than the model that you guys run here. For us, we really are more boutique in size, and our model allows us to, as I said, kind of wrap our arms around our client, and, you know, have a little bit more of a deeper relationship than just the traditional mortgage product. And that's what it's about. I kind of look at us as more of the you know, the old school family office that, you know, you call us, we're there for you. And an Uptown client generally doesn't walk to another brokerage or whatever.
And
it is.
that's respectable,
and
man. That's
about,
really respectable.
Right?
And I think that's stems from not just your product offering. I think it stems from your culture, and I think it stems from how you educate your folks to wrap their hands around their clients and do the right thing outside of just making a buck.
No, it's not about the money.
Right.
It's really about actually being there to help your client.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, I talked about my story. My story is the reason why I kind of got into this, because if it wasn't for learning about mortgages, second mortgages, in order to find a way forward, then I probably wouldn't be here today. So now I'm just going out there and sharing the knowledge that I was able to obtain with other people in order to hopefully allow them to benefit or find a better way forward. Right.
Yeah. And I think that you being a part of DLC is going to really help propel your brand.
Yeah. Well, that's already happened. And
there you
guys
go.
like yourselves having the opportunity to sit down, have conversations, and learn from the people that are in the rooms now. It's great, right? And, you know, I don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. I want to be the guy in the back sitting, taking notes and learning, right? That's what this is about.
Yeah, but we learned from you too.
Definitely.
Right, with your business model, the fact that you're doing some different things is fantastic, and the culture you've built there at his office, very, very family.
Oh, well, you got a Yeti. I'm not upset about it or anything.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna have to have him on.
Yeah, you will. He's good entertainment.
For a Yeti, I'll do it.
Done.
So how do you? Obviously, you mentioned father, 3 boys.
How old are they?
My boys are ready. Twin 15-year-olds.
Oh, that's awesome.
And a 13-year-old.
Okay, nice, beautiful.
And it's difficult. It's difficult because it's a whole different way of parenting.
A lot of testosterone in your house.
Oh my goodness, my poor wife. Right. It's different now, though, right? You know, you before when they're smaller, you have the you're worried about them, and, you know, now they're bigger than me, right? So it's like, sit down when I talk to you. First things first, right? But now you're worried about other things, right? You're worried about the other conversations.
Small kids, small problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Big kids, big problems.
Exactly.
As they get older.
Yeah.
So how do you balance it all?
Oof. If I'm being honest, I don't.
You're active. You're coaching.
I am. I do a lot. I do a lot.
Soccer?
Yeah.
Soccer?
Oh, I'm a huge soccer guy.
Yeah.
Playing against each other.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Are you guys in the same cohort?
No.
Is that the word of the day, cohort?
What's cohort?
It's like the
Age
same
group?
group, yeah.
No. He's a little bit older.
I'm
Yeah,
a little
close.
bit
We're
older.
close.
Yeah.
We're close. But we
So
play
you're a big
against,
soccer guy.
I'm a big soccer guy.
Well, you're fit, so
Yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah, he's
I'm a big competitive eater.
competitive eating.
gosh.
You got some sports you're good at.
I got some sports I'm good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to name some?
Rugby.
Rugby.
Rugby is
You're
my
a good rugby
is my
player. I
piece
could
de
see that.
resistance.
I could see that. What's
Yeah.
that?
It's
Rolling
like-
Stones?
The Rolling Stones. Yeah.
No, but yeah, he coaches them. We've played against each other and with each other.
Yeah.
We're
The
big
boys
rivals.
and the boys play soccer.
Yeah, all my boys play soccer.
That's awesome.
I not because I forced them to, but because I guess they wanted to be like that. Let's be
Yeah,
honest,
of course,
right?
of course.
I want to be like that too.
We all do.
Yeah. Sorry, question.
No, how do you balance? Like, you coach them, I know you said you don't balance, but you do.
Yeah,
Like, you're
no,
there for
I
them.
know, of course. Yeah, I mean, for me, okay, I look at, business, family,
As one.
finance. It is one, but at the end of the day, we're all juggling. Like, are we
of
going to have the
course.
honest conversation?
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Honesty.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Only honesty.
So, we're all juggling, right? And so we're juggling the all, like, whatever, these three
as you
balls
can,
as
yeah.
much as you can,
Yeah.
right? But at the end of the day, if you make the decision to build, to grow, to scale, something's got to give, right? Because you can't be the same Clyde, Paul, Dan that you were at this level if you're trying to get to this level, right? Something's got to give, something's got to change. And sometimes it's family time, sometimes it's sleep. Well, most of the time it's sleep, let's be honest, right?
Sometimes it's the boys, time with the
it's-
boys.
exactly.
Like your
Sometimes-
friends.
Yeah, that was the
Can't
first to
bounce-
go.
that was the first
I'm
one,
like,
yeah.
okay, what are the things that I love doing that I just do for me? Yeah, those are gone.
Yeah.
Right. Golf. Maybe I got out 6 times this
Yeah,
year. Right.
you
I
gotta
love
give
golf.
something
I'm not
there,
good
yeah.
at it though.
Yeah, I
right?
know, none of us are.
So that went, and then you start figuring out, okay, how much time can I get from doing those things and putting the time back into the business, right? So you balance as much as you can, but inevitably, you gotta find a way forward, and sometimes you gotta sacrifice. But the wife's really accepting late hours,
it's really
right?
important, man.
Having a partner that accepts the long hours, the early mornings, the weekends. I was saying to Eddie on the pod on Wednesday. Sometimes you're on vacation, and not that you want to be, but you're like,
You got to check.
you got to check, right?
Yeah.
You got to move the business along, because if you don't move it, I mean,
You're not paying for that next vacation.
thank you, right? Everything comes at a cost. So, you got to put the time into it, and eventually, you can do what you got to do to hire and scale and grow, right?
100%. No, I appreciate the honesty. It's true.
Right,
It's
you're the king of bouncing. Let's
yeah,
be real.
but what he said is the truth.
100%.
Like something's got to give at some point.
I work everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I don't care.
You
You don't like it. You don't like it. I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter.
I just don't care.
Monday, Tuesday,
Every day.
Sunday,
Every day. Vacation. No vacation.
6 o'clock.
I
Sunday.
love it, man. I love it.
But you have to.
I love it. It's like people look at work as a separate thing from their lives, which I understand. It's I guess I don't know, meant to be. I don't know how society treats that. It's for me. It's all together. I love it.
Keep it coming.
But
You need to, in order to, I hate using the word find success,
it's
but it's the
true.
truth. In order to succeed.
Why do you hate that word?
No, it's because some people are like, oh, you're successful. I'm not that guy. I'm
You're
not
very
boastful.
you're a very successful
No,
guy. You can't wear a blazer like that and not being successful.
I knew that Paul was gonna have a blazer that I had to compete with, so I said I gotta wear green.
Paul's got a great blazer
Right?
on
That's
today.
a
we
that's
all
a
have great
class
blazers.
I picked that one out for you actually.
You probably did.
I think I did.
Shout out to the
Sarti. That's a Sarti.
Yeah, that's quality. That's class.
It's
So I
it's
said,
Persuco.
yeah.
Does Persuco make blazers?
You would know, not me.
If they did,
Does Kappa make blazers?
they probably.
Again,
I don't know. You love Kappa. There's no need for you to.
Oh
No.
my God.
You
Kappa.
love Kappa. Are you not gonna make a
Kappa
There you go.
Please sponsor us.
Thank you. We'll wear baby blue tracksuits with the white.
I'd wear a full Kappa tracksuit all day.
I would
if
too.
they sponsor us.
I would too. Even a hat. I would rock a hat.
A couple $100 an episode.
Maybe
Hair transplant?
no. Maybe hide the baldness. But I've embraced it.
It's it. You got
It
it.
looks
You
good
got
on
it.
you.
I've embraced it.
It looks good on you.
I appreciate that, Paul. Thank you.
Clyde, any last parting thoughts, questions?
I'm having a great
anything
time.
else?
I don't wanna
Me
part.
too.
I'm having a
I know,
great
but
time.
when
This
we
is
get to that
good.
point, you can't go too
Yeah,
long.
because what happens is once the editing goes over a certain time, you
stop
gotta
listening.
you gotta pay double for the editing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
we
gotta shut
talk
it
to our
down.
producer
You gotta
about
shut it
that.
down.
A penny over 42 minutes, it's double the
You're
cost.
That's
dead.
it.
You're dead.
And
It's
we're at
done.
like 40 and a half minutes right now.
Okay.
So we got a minute and a half for Clyde's parting thoughts.
Oh man,
Any questions for us being a guest? Anything that popped to me?
Yeah,
For Dan, you haven't talked to him
We
much.
that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
feel like we didn't even have a chance to have the conversation.
We're talking.
right?
We're having a
But,
good time. It's
you
fluid.
know,
It's fun. We're having a good
This
time.
is great. No, first before I even say anything, just wanted to say thanks for having me on. This is great. First time for me being in the guest seat. This is interesting. This is new.
It's a good time.
And, yeah, this was great.
We learned a lot about you, and hats off to what you built.
Mm-hmm.
We're happy to have you in the DLC family, and this time we're not on opposite sides, which we've normally been. yeah, just the collaboration. I think we were talking about that on his. There's so much business for everybody, and I think this industry.
We have to learn from each other.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's you know, I don't look at anyone as a competitor. Not anymore. I mean, like, and I know we talked about this before, where it's like it was TD versus CIBC, Green versus Claret, and now
Claret.
Yeah, well, that's
He's not. You worked there. You say Claret.
Yeah,
I thought it was red.
maroon.
Whatever,
I thought it was red.
right? Whatever it is.
Claret.
Right?
I didn't know that was a color.
Me neither.
I don't know. Maybe I had it wrong. I don't know.
No,
Either
you
way.
do.
You
But
definitely have it
I
right.
probably have it
Yeah,
right.
you know.
But it's the new approach, the new me, the new attitude is just, you know, what can we do to find a better way forward? Yeah. And if that means, you know, picking up the phone, calling Paul and say, hey, Paul, do you have 10 minutes? Let me pick your brain. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Not at all, man.
There's an opportunity to learn, right? And if Paul picks up the phone and says, hey, Clyde, you know, whatever, then if you can find a way to work together and everybody steps up and achieves a little bit more, isn't that what this is about?
It's just going to continue to make the broker community more uniform and more united and more about helping each other as opposed to seeing or looking at people as competition, because we're just not.
We're not.
Your clientele is different than, for example, our clientele, and you service your clientele to the best of your abilities, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
I think in order for the broker space to advance, it needs Uptown. It needs Clear Trust.
That's right, 100%.
It needs all these different, you know, tribe from. It needs all of us, right? We're trying to revolutionize.
And we all need to be there to support one another.
Agreed.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's a good way to end.
No, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
That's a wrap. Thank you so much. It was honestly a really good, fun episode. We had a blast, and we got to hear you laugh a little bit. Which is
Yeah, you
always
definitely.
classic
I knew
laugh.
you were going to bring it out for sure.
Bring up what? The
His
laugh?
favorite laugh. Yeah, it is, well, not his favorite laugh. His laugh is my favorite.
You want to hear him laugh? Just tell him the story when you met me first.
Oh
wow. I mean,
should we
listen.
say it for another episode, or
Whatever you guys want.
I'm happy to save it. Tell it. You tell me.
Tell
Bring me
it.
back.
Let's finish it off.
Are we going to
Bring us
do it?
home. Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, it's really not that bad.
No.
You guys are gonna make it seem like worse than it is.
Well,
I'm just a big fan.
all I gotta say is, you know, I was. Are we gonna tell this?
Sure,
am I
let's
allowed
do
to
it.
tell this
Go
story?
ahead.
Absolutely.
So all I remember, again, I'm new to DLC.
Did you have a couple
right?
cocktails or no?
I maybe had a few cocktails.
I didn't have any cocktails.
No, I don't believe that for one
I
second.
didn't have any cocktails
Right?
yet.
I had no.
What were we doing during the day?
I'll tell you what I was doing.
What? Tell
I'm
me.
gonna
Tell
tell-
me how
tell-
did this day start?
I'm gonna tell you.
we were
We were at that second floor bar. You know that bar where you walk up the steps?
where the
Yeah, he was there
little
too.
pools were.
Okay. What pools?
Wasn't there the little?
No. The second floor bar.
we were up at the pools first. Then you hung out at the second floor bar.
That's right. So
Yeah, I was already in the room.
I
Shower
was with
getting ready.
Scotiabank.
Yeah.
I was with Scotiabank on the second floor at the bar.
Yeah,
Okay.
because dinner starts at 6. We were dressed ready.
Ready.
We were at the party. At
I was
6.
at the bar. At
You were
6.
still at the bar. At
I was
6.
at the bar. I was at the bar at 6, and I
Yes.
was with I was with my Scotia compadres, who I
Right.
love very much.
Yes.
Having a couple cocktails.
Right.
Talking about life, laughter.
100%.
Okay. Love, respect.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. All good things.
Yeah, amazing things. Oot from CMLS comes up to us and she's like, guys, we got to go. We have that. Well, first of all, Scotia was performing that night.
Yeah, they were on
So they were
on
they were going to
stage.
be late.
Yeah.
So long story short, she walked Mr. Webster back to his room. She walked me back to my room. We got dressed.
Yeah.
We got changed.
Right.
Right. Our room overlooked
The garden.
the garden. You
Yes.
can now go ahead.
Where the DLC event was being
That's right.
happening that night.
Yes. That's right.
So, I mean, fast forward, all I remember, if I'm going to be honest,
No, please be honest.
you know, there was a big event going on, right?
Big event.
I think it was like
That was one of the bigger ones. That was the night. Yeah.
I think that was the
the
fun.
night.
Wasn't
that
it
wasn't the gala. That was the night before, but it was like.
Was it not the final night or the second?
No, the gala was the final night.
yeah.
Anyways, second
So
last night.
second last night, we're all at the party, and you know we're having a good time. And I remember seeing Paul earlier, and we were talking. Next thing I know, I mean, I look up, and on top of the roof is
Your boy DF.
in swim shorts.
No, I
Or
was,
boxers.
I was in a towel.
in a towel.
Yeah, because I was screaming. I was singing along.
What
I was
song were they singing?
I think there
It
were.
was your favorite one?
Yeah. I just can't remember right now. A couple too many cocktails.
Not
Way
Sweet Home
too many
Alabama.
colors.
What was it? It's one of your favorite ones. You sing the words. You went on stage and sang it.
That's right. That was at a different Scotia
Yeah,
event. I don't know if you were there for that.
No,
were you?
I wasn't there for that one.
I can't remember the name. But anyways, they're shredding.
They're
They're shredding.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're great.
Okay, and I love them.
Yeah, it's your favorite band.
I love them.
You download their whole album on Spotify.
I have their discography.
Right.
Okay.
So you're up there in our room that's overlooking.
Because it's overlooking the stage.
I-
I hear the music. I'm excited.
Yeah, but you're on the edge.
But you're on the edge.
back
I'm on the
edge,
edge.
where
I'm on
pool is,
I'm on the edge. I'm on. But
And you're in
I
a
live on the
towel
edge.
screaming. But no one knows because the music's so loud that you're singing. They think you're screaming like you're going to jump.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on. I just remember seeing you up there.
I'm in a good place right there.
Well, you had to have been.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around and I saw it was you and I'm like, where's Paul? Where's my immediate? I'm like, I'm on my phone, Paul. Like, this is your partner's here, man. He doesn't look.
Paul, your partner's on the roof in a towel. I'm
You were in the room.
No, I wasn't.
You were in
I
the
was
what?
not. I was not in the room, Dan.
Oh my
This
God.
is the first I heard. I was in the elevator down. So I get to the event. I'm saying hi to a few peeps, and I see my phone, and Clyde like runs up to me, and he's like, bro, did you check your phone? I'm like, no, and I look. It's like, Paul, your partner's hanging on the roof in a towel.
So here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing.
Oh,
Here's
man,
the, here,
I think he's okay. But you were off the roof when I got down. It was like I think a one song thing.
One
Then you
song.
were- yeah.
So here's the thing. Number one.
This is the best part of the pod. I'm glad we said this.
Number
story.
one. Shout out to DLC for putting an amazing event
amazing
like that
show.
together.
It was amazing.
Like
Yeah.
that whole event was just to meet everybody and to learn about each other exactly, and to see people we haven't seen in so long, and to spend a few days in a tropical place. It was absolutely incredible.
Yes, it was great.
Incredible.
It was, like,
Number two, which I did not remember. Okay, and I'm very good at remembering everything. Okay. I'm like that. Like it doesn't matter what state I'm in. I remember everything.
For the most part.
I remember everything. I recorded a Velocity video.
Yes,
Do you remember
did.
that? They came up to me
when
and
he
they,
first came down 10 minutes after the whole ordeal.
on.
Yeah.
they came up to me and they said, "What do you love?" And I love Velocity. Okay, so I started firing off. They started recording me. It was incredible. Anyways,
yeah.
it was amazing.
Yeah,
It
You
was
were on
amazing.
another
That
planet. It was a good one though. They never put it out.
I
I'd
think
love to
I
see
think
it.
they
Did
did.
they?
I think they did. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, so glad you told the story. We got
Yeah.
to laugh.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe we can call this episode "On a Roof in a Towel" or something, or "Wake Up Woodbridge."
Wake up, Uptown
Uptown Funk.
Up.
Thank you, Clyde, for coming
Clyde.
on. We had a
guys.
blast.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cheers.